Question number 12, the Honourable Annette King.
Mr Speaker, my questions to the Minister of Housing. What recent reports has he received on housing in the Aranui area of Christchurch?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Mr Speaker, I receive a variety of reports on housing throughout Canterbury and Christchurch, including the Aranui area. The information is used to inform the wide range of government initiatives that we're undertaking to help the people of Aranui and other Christchurch suburbs.
The Honourable
Mr
Annette
Speaker,
King.
did he receive advice from Housing New Zealand regarding living conditions for families in Aranui, including information about the 17 people existing on one property, 7 of them in a 2-bedroomed house, 10 others in caravans and a tin shed, sharing one toilet, a shower and a washing machine? And if so, does this sound like a housing challenge or a housing crisis?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Mr Speaker, I haven't heard a specific report about that particular tenant, but I do know that when I came in as Housing Minister, there were reports that over a third of the state houses right across New Zealand in 2008 were on the wrong size, wrong place, or in poor condition. And Aranui specifically...
Order, I'm on my feet. I think the Minister said he had not received any reports on that particular question raised, and that was the end of the matter. The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker. Has he received a report from EQC saying state houses in the Aranui area, which are boarded up and unable to be occupied, are now assessed as livable with repairs? And if so, what urgent action is he prepared to take to make these houses available to desperate people?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Well, Mr Speaker, of the 500 plus houses in Aranui, 132 roughly are vacant and damaged. 45 are currently on the track for repair. The others may be repaired, but these repairs are $80,000 each. What the corporation is considering doing is subdividing these properties and building new state houses rather than upgrading the old ones. Old state houses, old mouldy cold state houses were under the Labour Party. We're wanting to upgrade and insulate state houses, not just in Canterbury, but right across New Zealand.
The point of order, the Honourable Annette King.
Mr Speaker, my question was specifically asking him if he had received a report from EQC saying that state houses that were boarded up are now able to be occupied with repairs. He didn't answer that at all.
Well, I'm not sure. I accept he didn't specifically say whether or not he'd received that report, but he gave information about the number of state houses in the Aranui area that were boarded up, that were some that were available for repair, and what the government planned to do about it. Now, I presume he must have had a report to have that information, but the thing is, the Minister doesn't have to answer every aspect of a supplementary question. I think it was a reasonable answer to the question with respect to the serious issue around state house availability in Aranui. The Honourable Annette, point of order, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
With respect, though, sir, you made a very valid ruling, I think, to the previous question where you cauterised the Minister after he'd confirmed whether I think he'd received advice. The primary part of this question was not about those other related but extraneous matters. It was, had he received a specific report from EQC, etc., etc. And I would have thought in order to be consistent with your first ruling that you ruled he'd confirmed he had advice, all he has to do is confirm had he received a specific report or not, sir.
Well, order, it's all a matter of whether in answer the Minister is treating the House with respect and giving information that seeks to answer the question asked. And I accept that the particular part of the question relating to advice from the EQC, the Minister didn't actually indicate that, but he got to the substance of the matter around availability of houses in the Aranui area. And he didn't try to claim that everything was perfect at all. He, I thought, gave the House very useful advice. The member has a further supplementary question now to check that out further. If the matter causing crucial concern is a report from EQC, well, that's obviously the subject, given the answer just given, to be the subject of the next supplementary. Point of order, the Honourable Annie King.
Mr Speaker, the question is asking him if he received a report from EQC. He talked about our houses and how many they were going to repair. I wanted to know, has he received a report from EQC? That was the fundamental part of this question. He didn't answer it. It might have been nice, all the other things he said, but I wanted a report.
No, the member's not going to comment like that. No, look, members have seen me, I try to treat the House evenly. They've seen me pull up a minister on a primary question and face him down on it and require him to answer to the House. Now, this was a supplementary question, and the minister did not try to play politics with it. Here, the minister gave information about state housing in the Aranui area. Now, what the Speaker can't know is the reason why questions are being asked. Now, clearly, if this particular EQC report is of crucial interest to the member asking the questions, and the minister hasn't covered that particular aspect, whether or not his information is based on that report or some other report the minister's received, then that's obviously the subject for further questioning. Because if the member had wanted to know whether the minister received that particular report, if the member knows of a particular report, the question should have been, has the minister received report such and such provided by EQC on such and such a date, end of question. Then I could have insisted the minister answer that. But the member included more material in her supplementary question. And I've got to listen to questions asked, and it's my view that the minister gave a reasonable answer to that supplementary question. I accept he may not have answered the first part of it, but that's why further supplementary questions are available to where the member has a further supplementary indeed, and she may use it should she wish, the Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll pursue that in another way. How many tenancy managers operating in the Aranui area have laptops to help them provide a smarter, faster, fairer service to the desperate people in the area? Technology, he said this morning, was available to all tenancy managers now.
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
I haven't talked to those particular tenancy managers. What I indicated, I think this morning through Radio New Zealand, is that the changes we're making in Housing New Zealand is that tenancy managers will spend 70% of their time out of the office visiting tenants, inspecting houses, looking at maintenance programs. They will have a laptop. They will no longer be stuck behind a desk in the office using whiteboards. We're moving to modern technology, not old technology, Mr. Speaker, because those state houses are worth $15 billion. They house 70,000 families, and they deserve some attention and some modern servicing.
And that brings to a close questions for oral answer today. Would some honourable member care to move that the House take note of miscellaneous business? The Honourable Judith Collins.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, what an extraordinary